and welcome to Verbal Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. Like to welcome y'all to the show. We talking about LeBron James voting rights group that's focusing on Georgia with an NBA All-Star Game ad, right? Now, for those of you who don't know, we've been fighting for a peaceful right to vote since the dawn of slavery. And when I say peaceful right to vote, meaning exercising your right to vote as a citizen without all the backlash and the pushback and trying to suppress votes and so on and so forth, which is ridiculous because you're playing with adults, right? And check this out. This from Reuters. This is by Sharon Bernstein. The voting rights group backed by basketball star LeBron James is kicking off a new campaign to fight Republican-led efforts to tighten voter requirements in Georgia and other states that could restrict access for black voters and Democrats in 2021. Can you believe this? No. Yeah, I can believe it. Now, when I do these shows, right, and I talk about white people being devils and the black man is God and different topics dealing with race, right, I'm not talking about those who are on the side for justice and what's right. I'm talking about the ones who has that racist mindset, who wants to see the death of black and brown and minorities in America. And so when I mention the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, that's a must study so you can understand that hate mindset and where it derived from and why you would never get those who wholeheartedly believe in that ideology because it's been passed down from generations to generations, and that's all they know, and you can't change them. For instance, we had the freeze, right? From Mississippi to Texas and Louisiana and millions without electricity, right? You can walk by a hateful white person and say, hey, I noticed you and your family are out of water, whatever. Here's a case of water. Maybe it can help you and your family out, right? Now, the racist will say, I don't want nothing from you, nigger. And then you reply, well, no problem. I hope you all die, and you just keep going. Fuck it. Fuck you and your family, right? Because that's what it's boiling down to now, right? But then you have those you see white man, his family struggling, don't have any water. And you say, oh, man, I got an extra case. Here you go. And they say, oh, well, thank you. I really appreciate that. You know, it helped me and my family out. You know, all right, no problem. Thanks, Jay. Man, y'all take care. If you need anything else, let me know. And you going about your day, right? See, right now, there's a split, right? And those with that first mindset, they're lining up with Trump and those who share that same ideology. But as I stated, there's another mindset that's on the scene who wants everybody to have the right to vote and enjoy those constitutional rights without any flag, right? So we got to identify the hater and understand that they are who they are, and there's nothing you can do to change them. I mean, it was a situation where a doctor from Houston was on a plane and a white person was having a heart attack. She tried to help and they refused her assistance and aid because they didn't want a black doctor, right, seeing after their well-being. And if I was her, okay, that's fine, no problem. Choke to death. Who cares? Hey, I'm just here to offer service. But if you don't want no problem, hey, your death's not on my hand. I'm honoring your wish. And that's the new mindset. So with this voters thing, right? LeBron James, he's taking a stance. It says the group, More Than a Vote, which is the name of the group, will start by running a 30-second advertisement narrative by James during the televised NBA All-Star Game in Atlanta on Sunday. That's this Sunday. Look what we made happen, the Los Angeles Lakers star says in the ad as images flash of demonstrations protesting the police killing of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor last year. What our voices made possible. And now look what they're trying to do to silence us using every trick in the book, right? Why every trick in the book? Because that hateful ideology was taught a system of tricknology, tricks and lies. And they mastered tricks and lies. And that's their foundation. They share that foundation. They teach that foundation. They organize behind the foundation of tricks and lies. And LeBron is making that plain, and he knows that. That's why he chose to use those words, right? He was taught tricks and lies by his father, Yaqub, and as a way to rule over the original black man and woman, right? But he's noticing that knowledge doesn't have the same effect because one came among us with a higher knowledge than the tricks and lies and started teaching that high knowledge to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm, Muhammad Ali, Mr. Farrakhan, and they taught that to the rest of us. So now we're aware of his tricks and lies. And so he's upset, and now he's striking out and he's threatening violence, right? And in Georgia, where Democrats pulled off surprise wins in the presidential election and 2 U.S. Senate runoffs, Republican state lawmakers sponsoring the voting measure maintain they are meant to safeguard elections. A bill passed by the Republican-controlled Georgia House of Representatives on Monday would restrict ballot drop boxes, tighten absentee voting requirements, and limit early voting on Sundays, curtailing traditional souls to the polls voter turnout programs in black churches. More Than a Vote, launched last year by James, along with athletes and artists including Orlando Magic center Mo Bamba and Golden State Warrior forward Draymond Green, partnered in 2020 with a group led by former First Lady Michelle Obama to provide food, protective gear, free legal advice, and rise to the polls for people voting early in the U.S. election. The group's initial 2021 efforts will be in Georgia, where the combined presence of the NBA All-Star Game, the push to limit voting access, and the heightened importance of the state politically came together as a logical place to focus, said Michael Tyler, a spokesman for More Than a Vote. The group plans to expand its outreach to states including Pennsylvania, where restrictive laws are being considered, as well as Michigan, where the group's fear congressional districts will be redrawn after the latest U.S. census to dilute the power of voters of color. Wow, man. I mean, it is what it is. They got threats that's supposed to take place on the Congress by these right-wing groups or white supremacist or racist groups. And, this is where we at. But as I stated, got to pick a side. Which side are you on? Especially white people got to pick sides, man. If you're on the side with peace and, everyone should enjoy life and let's build, make money, and have fun, and you don't see perspective of color, let's ride. But if you're on the side where you say, man, to hell with black, brown, and minorities, then black, brown, and minorities will say to hell with you. It's only fair, it's only right, and it's only time. So y'all stay tuned. We'll keep you all posted right here on Verbal Pick Radio. We're out.